Hi everyone, my name is Toke Lund and I'm the CEO and founder of Interspeed. Today we are starting a video podcast where we are talking to some of the thought leaders in the market around what is going on within AI and enterprises. There's a lot of talk of the town of what is happening in all kind of enterprises. Sometimes it's better to hear from some of the experts and some of those who are actually having the dialogue. So today I'm joined by one of my very good friends, but also a thought leader of mine, a personal thought leader of mine. His name is Adam Peter Nielsen. And Adam, please give me a short introduction of yourself.
Well, thank you for having me, Toke. I am happy to jump into all things digital and, of course, what goes on with AI and all the business around us. I am CTO at Novicell and have spent the past 20-odd some years working on e-commerce and digital strategy and implementing all sorts of digital solutions here at Novicell. I also spend quite a number of hours and days and maybe waking nights defining architecture and sparring with senior leaderships at many of our clients. So that revolves around what is the next best thing to do and how do we get unstuck from legacy, and these days, how do we catch up to the whole AI wave faster?
Today, it's all about what's happening outside in the market, nothing about Interspeed. That's important to mention. This is a public service for everybody who wants to be smarter and more wise around what's going on with AI. So I will start with my first question and say, what dominates the agenda in your dialogues with enterprises right now regarding AI?
There are a number of different things. First of all, it is obvious to anyone that large language models are very mature. You can use it for pretty much any language or text work you can do. Languages are right now in the tech space something we can use to scale in different markets, scale our communication, scale our productivity. So that's, of course, on top of mind for a lot of people, how to get there faster, how to enable their teams to use these technologies, and how to turn that customer facing. That can be the classical scenarios of surfacing products in chatbots. It can be creating your own customer service agent or just enabling internal teams to get information faster and more efficient. So that's one that requires a lot of work. Productivity gains. And then it's adaptability and making sure that we actually can surface all of this data. So it is integrating core vital master data from existing systems, typically legacy systems that were implemented maybe in the last decade. How do we make that available for our digital channels? And those channels can be either facing our customers or our supply chain. So it's a duality of creating more efficient cost of goods sold by optimizing our supply chain and our data streams there, getting better insights, getting better signals from all that, or providing better context for our visitors or users or customers in whatever channel they use.
And I actually agree. I read your article lately where you said actually AI is just another channel, but it still needs the same data structure, still needs high quality data, and it needs a context to understand the data before it actually starts to be that channel you want it to be, the next big channel for you as a company. By the way, a high recommendation on reading that article. We will link it in the text later on. But what are then the concerns that you're met with in terms of what worries you, what worries the enterprises right now in terms of AI and the projects that you're looking into?
Well, first of all, it's FOMO. So when are our competitors jumping at this? That goes both for us as a digital agency and as advisors a little bit. But for most of our clients, most enterprises, it is figuring out when their competitors jump on this. So are they adapting fast enough? So it's very much about adaptability. So in the context of the article, we have many clients here at Novicell that approach us and say, "Oh, can we get on ChatGPT with our products? We've seen a video or something on LinkedIn about it," and they say, "There is this ACP, whatever that is. That is, of course, agentic commerce protocol. But basically, what they're trying to say is, oh no, is my e-commerce channel disappearing? It didn't disappear when marketplaces popped up. It hasn't disappeared in Asia after they started using everything apps to purchase products. It did not disappear when your retail stores closed, because they didn't. They're just another channel. So this is again just another channel, and how do we enable our business to jump onto this channel as fast and efficiently as possible? That's pretty much the questions. So the big worry that AI will replace everything, we have a lot of discussions about that, and when that happens, where, why, and what to do about it. Because we don't see the replacement yet. We just see an acceleration of adaptation, and we see an acceleration of number of ways to do business.
Yeah, it is like it's like the customer journey is just expanding in
Yeah.
magnitude. It's just another channel, but it also adds some more elements to each step of the customer journey that you need to be aware of, and customers will continue to go from agent to website, back to agent, and so on and
Yes.
so on. What about something like compliance and this thing that OpenAI launched a week ago? Regarding the agentic commerce and also the compliance around that. Is that something that you're seeing in your dialogues, or is it still too early?
Yes, we are seeing that in dialogues, but it's typically a big misconception about how it works, because I think it's actually a stroke of genius to implement it this way. Because if we deconstruct the problem, it's just a product feed. It's just
Yes.
making sure that another channel can eat your products. And we've been doing that for 25 years with marketplaces and with Google and all sorts of things, where we have to show the world what our products are like, or our content or our offerings in a structured format. So that's actually what they started to do, instead of diving more down into the deeper but more enabling tech like MCP servers and all that stuff, where we can engage more directly with data. So this is our fast means to an end, where we just make sure that an agent can actually read our products in a very well-structured format and can then check out on behalf of us in an interface, or on behalf of whoever customer is engaging with that product feed, just like we do on Amazon or marketplaces. But it's a new channel, and thus we need to explain how that happens. From a compliance standpoint, it's of course a new channel that you use, so I would consider it just like anything else where you don't own or control the customer experience. It's actually upon them to provide the compliance. What the only thing you can do is make sure that the APIs and the integrations that we help set up, that those are compliant. And when we get an order from this new channel, that we treat it like any other channel, and make sure
Yes.
that it is actually run through the same workflow, through the same architecture. We use fraud detection and all the other technologies that are typically in place in e-commerce and other order management setups. So I think it's safe to say that with the guardrails built into what we see within these chat interfaces that are now quite mature, it's safe to use. You can make a mistake and order the wrong printer cartridge, just as you would do in an e-commerce setting.
Yeah.
Your robot can do that on behalf of you. That's still there, but that's basic commerce.
Yes, but then there might be some concerns that companies need to look into. For instance, I foresee a lot of the data model will increase both in width and in depth. Your data model needs to be broader, but also needs to be deeper, because AI agents can consume more faster.
Yes. Yeah, it's about context. It's about how much context memory do we have available for the thing we are
Yes.
working on. And if we are just trying to buy what is this, small tiny mouse,
Yeah.
then it's not that difficult. You typically have to compare a couple of products and just get the one that fits you. Whereas if you're buying more complex things, or you have a multi-threaded workflow of different agents working together, of course you consume more data. But going back to that, and what you then need to be ready for is really be ready for anything. The best advice I can give is focus on how you secure and orchestrate and syndicate your internal data and make it ready for new channels. And that has been The same story we've told for the past 10 years, because we know that at some point you will need to onboard a new channel, a new reality, or you're facing a merger or an acquisition, or you have to change this and that piece of componentry in your digital ecosystem. And if you know where your data lives, how it moves, how it flows through your digital data supply chain, then it's much easier to onboard new things in a compliant and secure and fast fashion. So there's
Yes.
no change there. This is just some very cool, very powerful new interfaces and technologies that we are applying on top of what is already there, so we can do more faster.
But what is your beliefs in terms of what is the next big thing that we will talk about in a half a year's time with AI and this?
I just think the next big thing we'll talk about, first of all, is all the sheer volume of fun and engaging content and products and experiences that can be created in a very short time. We've seen it now with languages the past couple of years, and we are seeing a flood of video flying around now. But what is more interesting, I think, is to apply some of these mature language and context models to real world data to see what will this do to the business world and business data. There are a number of highlights out there, but if you apply all of your knowledge in a structured, secure, zero trust fashion, you can actually have some very interesting and meaningful outcomes. So what I think we'll see is more towards the machine-to-machine commerce, but also just enabling humans to guide a number of agents on different purposes and just get the gist of it, or get tasks solved, or even just have the whole negotiation phase of a B2B procurement done within AI with maybe a human in the middle in half a year, for many, not a human in the middle anymore. So that's where bigger enterprises that are moving fast is heading. For us as mere meat popsicle humans, I think we'll just get more productive, more fun, but also better controlled context switch when we move around in our daily work. We'll get more assistance, more help
Yes. Yeah.
to focus in on what actually brings value, instead of copy pasting text around, which I still see some do a lot.
Yeah, I definitely see, and I'm actually hoping for the next phase to actually be the one where we start to establish a data supply chain towards the AI, so they can be even better, understand the company's data even more with a context as
Yeah.
well, because then they can start to really accelerate.
And most organizations, they were IT first, then
Yes,
a little more data, then they got digital, and now they need to get agentic. But you
yes.
still have a lot of systems and processes and people working all the way down in IT that are not even to digital, if you could call it that. So that's a big shift that needs to, for some, happen very fast. In some
Yes.
industries, we'll see this roll out blazingly fast, and in others, there are so many existing regulatory requirements or processes or ways of working that means it will move quite slow. But the fast movers in those industries will really reap the rewards, I think.
I totally agree. And on that note, I think we should stop. But thank you so much for your time, and love to see you more talking about this, because you are, as I mentioned, one of my thought leaders. So please continue with some of the good articles.
We'll see. I write them myself, and that's why it's a bit slow, not AI. Let's see
Anyway,
if this talk ages well or not. I think it does.
exactly. I hope
Thank
so.
you.
Thank you.